Hi, welcome back, Introstat student. So today we will do this exercise, calculating the test statistics in a t-test for a mean. All right. So before we continue, I need to kind of address this. All right. Um, so the t statistics has this formula. It's basically how many standard deviation it is away from the mean. And we're talking about a t distribution, by the way. All right. So if this is zero, so how many standard deviation is this value from here? Right? Is this x bar value? So there's this formula. It's x bar, right? The sample mean, minus the population mean, the average, divided by the standard deviation of the sample, right? So of the sample, um, because we do not we. So the reason why we use t distribution is because our standard deviation, population standard deviation, is unknown. So if population standard deviation is unknown, we have to um, estimate by what? By using the standard deviation of the sample. And then it has this formula. Okay? So we use the standard deviation of the sample, we use the sample mean right here, and then we use the mean here. Now, so to illustrate this, right, the example, let's go through. In Buenos Aires, which is in Argentina, the average daily high temperature in a year is reported to be 18.2. So that's the mean. That's the population mean, 18.2. Okay, right? So 18.2. Catalina believes that last year was warmer than usual. In order to test her belief, she takes a random sample of 20. Ooh, sample size of 20. Now, notice why I say ooh, because this is less than 20. This is less than 30, which means CLT is not really applied at this point. But it's okay, we'll see. Um, and records the daily high temperature of each chosen day. She finds that the sample mean is 19 point. So the sample mean is 19.1, and the sample standard deviation is 7.9. So Catalina wants to use this sample data to conduct a t-test on the mean. Assume that all conditions for whew, all conditions have been met. So good. You do not need to do the three tests, the three condition check. By the way, the three condition checks are, first of all, it has to be simple random sample. Second, that the sample itself, since this n is less than 30, the sample has to be normal, right? Or it's symmetric, and it's not skewed, strong skewed, and it has no outliers. Okay. And then the third one was the 10% rule, right? The independence rule. So, with that in mind, to find the test statistic, the correct test statistics, you have to use this formula. T statistics equals to x bar minus mean divided by s divided by square root n. So x bar is 19.1, 19.1 minus the mean is 18.2 divided by sample standard, as the sample standard deviation is 7.9, divided by root n, and n is 20. Right? So if you put this into your calculator, you should be able to find what the t statistics is. So let's look at the option. Okay. So the option is that, and it looks like we have a winner here. 19.1 minus 18.2 divided by 7.9, and then divided by square root of 20. Okay, cool. Um, oh, I want to go back to the last question. Oh, I can't do that. Anyway, so St. West High School requires that students are assigned an average of 2.5 hours of homework each night. Wow, I thought our school was tough. So the school board believes that the average amount of time per night is not 2.5. So they decide to take a random sample of 16 students to see if there is convincing evidence to support their suspicion. The board finds that the sample of students were assigned an average of 2.8 hours of homework per night with a standard deviation of zero point 0.8. The board wants to use this sample data to conduct a t-test. So actually, there's a quicker way. To do a t-test, you go to Stat, go to Test, and you see t-test. So you have two options. One is like you have data given, raw data, but we don't. We are using statistics. Okay, so here the next, what is the claim? The claim is that the average is 2.5. So we put 2.5, and then the sample mean is 2.8. We put 2.8, the sample mean. The standard sample standard deviation is zero point 0.8, so we put zero point 0.8. And here our sample size is 16. We put 16. All right, and we're supposed to use not 2.5. So if it's not 2.5, it's a two-tailed test, and we use that one. Okay, so and we calculate. So see, the t statistics is right here in the second row. T is 1.5. So looking at this, we can just put 1.5 and good job. So use this test, right? T-test on the calculator. So let's perhaps quickly do another one. Rory suspects that teachers in his school district have less than 5 years of experience on average. He decides to test. To test what? To test that the population mean of the years of experience on average for teachers in his school district is 5, versus the alternative hypothesis is that's less than 5. Using a sample size of 25 teachers, his sample mean was 4 years and his sample standard deviation was 2. Rory wants to use the sample data to conduct a t-test on the mean, assuming that all conditions for inference have been met. So I haven't seen the options down below. It's okay. I go immediately go to Stat, go to Test, go to t-test, and I can put everything in. I'm using the stats, and the mean here is 5, right? Here is 5, and here the sample mean is 4. Sample standard deviation is 2, and we have 25 teachers in the sample size, and we are using less than, right? Here it says less than 5. We're just going to pick the middle one, and then we pick the calculate. Ladies and gentlemen, the t-test is negative 2.5. That's not t-test. The t statistics is negative 2.5. Oh, did I get it? So control. All right, I'm gonna switch this off, and voila, it should come down. This pops up all the time, and I need to make sure it goes away. Come on. No. Okay. So where is it? Where is the test? We are using calculated t-test. Yes. So I want to see if we lost that. Ah man. Okay. So maybe let me do a quick one. right? So hopefully, if I look at the options below, okay, it just basically asks you to do to fill in the variables. So the very first one, right, it has to look like this. The t statistics has to look like x bar minus mean divided s divided by root n. So my n is 500. So it's going to look like square root 50 down below. Standard deviation is 1.55. It's going to look like that. And then x bar is given 2.75. 2.75 minus, and the mean it's given as 2. So if you look at that, which one did it resemble? So it's 2.75 minus 2 divided by 1.55 divided by root n. So that looks like it. Oh, did I choose the wrong one? I did, huh? So what was the mean? This I said 2.75. The population mean is 2. So all right. Anyway, so if you have any questions, let me know. And try to use the t-test on the calculator. Thank you very much. Hope everything is fine.